This is the second episode in my Summer Headspace series. This is a chance to revisit episodes from the previous school year during the summer months when you may have a little extra time. I revisit episodes by theme, and you'll find the episode links right in the show notes, so you don't have to go far looking for them. Today, we take a look back at episode 17, where Tracy Rucker talked about student motivation, and episode 43, where Maureen Lamb spoke about student choice. These two episodes really complement each other, so let's jump in. Are you a language teacher looking for some reassurance that what you're doing in the classroom is on the right track? Or maybe you're looking for some ways to teach even more effectively. If you're one or the other or somewhere in between, you've landed in the right place. This is the World Language Classroom Podcast with your host, me, Joshua Cabral. You're about to get tips, tools, and resources so that your students continue to rise in proficiency and communicate with confidence. Let's jump in. Vamos, allons-y. Hello, my friends. Bonjour, mes amis. Hola, mis amigos. Welcome to the World Language Classroom Podcast. I am Joshua Cabral, and thank you, as always, for being here so that you can listen to what's going on in other teachers' classrooms, hear about some theory and research and everything that's going on, so that you can be reassured that what you're doing with your students is exactly where you need to be, and maybe find some ways to do it a little better, modify a little bit. All of that is what makes you an awesome educator, particularly if you're listening to this during the summer months when I'm doing these Summer Headspace episodes. Just take a second, make sure that you are pressing like or subscribe on whatever app you're listening to this podcast on so you can get these episodes every Monday when they come out. And, I'd appreciate it too if you could leave a rating and a comment as well, because that helps other teachers to see these podcasts and then get the chance to listen to them as well. The first episode I'll look back at is episode 17 with Tracy Rucker, where he spoke about student motivation and really what that word means and what it looks like in the classroom. And I pressed him a little bit on really defining the difference between seeing a student is actually and authentically motivated rather than just being compliant and doing what we want and thinking that, they're doing that because they want to, but maybe they're actually just doing it because they're complying with what the teacher wants. So to really understand the difference between that and being authentically motivated. So we take that on in the episode. He also talks about how to create a classroom environment that fosters motivation. And in particular, he talks a lot about this idea of a co-created space and almost a co-created curriculum that has a lot of student input as a way to bring on motivation. And then he also talks about activities and assignments that will motivate students. And then to complement that episode on motivation, I think it's a good idea to pair it with episode 43 with Maureen Lamb. And in this episode, I discussed the importance of student choice in the classroom with Maureen. And I'm pairing these episodes together because Maureen also touches on the idea of student motivation as a factor in that whole idea of student choice. And essentially, by giving them choice in the classroom, that's going to motivate them intrinsically more when it's something that's compelling and truly interesting to them. So she talks us through some ways to provide and also manage offering choices to students in the classroom. Because sometimes one of the roadblocks that we have as teachers in providing different choices is how do we manage it all on the other end. So be sure to take a listen to that episode so you can hear some ideas about student choice and listen to it along with the episode with Tracy Rucker on motivation. So you'll see in the show notes the links to both episodes 12 with Tracy Rucker on motivation and episode 43, Maureen Lamb on student choice, so you can listen to them together over the next week and see how they complement each other. There are also links in the show notes to get in touch with me if you'd like to work together, either in person in your school or remotely during the upcoming school year. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. You've been listening to the World Language Classroom Podcast. Be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss a single episode. Let's continue the conversation on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at WL Classroom. You can also see over 250 blog posts about language teaching at, you guessed it, WLClassroom.com.